Hello, beautiful stars. Welcome to today's reading and happy Valentine's Day. We are tapping into the energy of pure vibration of love to connect with your soulmate, your potential soulmate, should we say. And one quick note about that is that there may or may not be more than one soulmate for you. When we decide to incarnate into this realm, perhaps you made several contracts with your soul family. So saying, for example, the three of you saying like, oh, you know, I'll be part of your soulmate for the first half of your life, and the next, the other soulmate will come in. So we have the choice of free will. So even though for most people, they choose their soulmate to go through their entire lifetime, but just know that it's not a death sentence. So you don't have to be with your soulmate the entirety of your life. It is up and entirely up to you. It's like going to a restaurant and ordering a meal or a plate. Maybe midway through you want something more, a bit of dessert or another dish or another plate. You don't have to commit through just one. So just a quick note on that. Yes, but for most of us, we do choose a soulmate or romantic soulmate that lasts throughout the entirety of our lifetime, for whatever soul lessons we have with each other. But just keep that in mind when you're choosing the piles. If more than one pile calls out to you, there's potential for pathways of soulmates as well that may be different and might call out to you. All right, so without further ado, let's show you your options. Pile 1, we have this as your oracle, this as your tarot. Pile 2, we have this as your oracle, and this as your tarot. Pile 3, we have this as your oracle, and this as your tarot. Pile 4, we have this as your oracle, and then this as your tarot. All right, lovely stars. So take a moment to quiet and ground yourself, tune into your intuition. When you are ready, go to the timestamps in the description below, select your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, Pile 1s. Welcome to your reading. All right, your horse-drawn carriage awaits. Let's see where it picks you and your potential soulmate up here. So the first area we'll be looking at is your first impression or meeting of one another. Whether it has occurred already or will occur, that will be the area here. This will be, so that will be your bouquet. This will be your ring, where your union with one another. This will be your chocolate, the sweetness or the essence of your relationship. And this will be your photo book or memoir, the potential of where this relationship can grow and prosper in the future here, or its potential of growth. Okay, and we do have timing as well for these two areas. One of these actually kind of fell in between the two. So we'll see what that says about those two areas. I do not know what the cards are, so we'll find out together. But first, let's look at your first area. Your bouquet, your first impression and meeting of each other. So we have watch and listen gracefully. Okay, I'm already getting a very shy, cute, coyish energy coming through here. The first meeting or the first time you meet each other, it will be kind of like some sort of social event. or there's some sort of aspect to that. It could be also trickle out from a social event. For example, if you two were at a party and then or at a speed dating thing where there's a lot of people, right? There's a lot of social interaction going on, but then you two decide like, okay, well, you know, we're good with the party. Let's like, we really enjoy each other's company. Let's go off and talk for a little bit on our own. It's that kind of energy. There is a bit of air of sociability in there, a factor element in there. But overall, I feel the first impression you two are meeting is very, yeah, cute, shy, not really coyish or shy. It's more like there's some sort of, it's hard to explain this energy, a little bit of meekness in there because, yeah, so I guess shy is the best word we have for it, but it's not exactly that. But yeah, we'll go with shy. Yes, but yeah, it feels tender. It feels cute. Yeah, and also now that makes sense a lot coming for your tarot here with the Kawaii Tarot. There's a little bit of just, you know, innocence and cuteness to it. It feels very childish, playful, in a very fun-loving, positive way. Feels lovely. Quite a lovely energy. That is your bouquet or first impression or meeting. Let's look at the other cards that are clarifying that. We have the Three of Wands. Okay, so what have we got going on here? Yeah, so sociability aspect is like what we talked about, but it's also at a time when either one of you, it could be both of you, are kind of like a combination of moving away from something and at the same time seeking out, being a little bit bold, seeking out, say, new territory or new things you have been trying, new adventures, new meeting places, or like speed dating or something of this sort. There's something you're trying out that's a bit new to you. Perhaps you met up at a meetup group or a social event that you don't usually go to. That is what it's the energy is coming out here, but there's an element of something new, something that you're not accustomed to, and that's where the meeting occur. Yeah, that's why there's perhaps a bit of shyness and coyness to it too. Okay, let's see what else. We have judgments. Yeah, you were okay. Yeah, it's like a calling. It's like you were called and inspired to go to this art gallery or to go to this wine tasting or this chocolate festival or something. It's you felt there was some sort of inkling to pull you there. It's like, okay, I usually don't do that. It's my day off on Saturday. But you know what? Today I'm going to try something new. It was that kind of vibe that pulls you there. And lo behold, it is divinely guided because, of course, that's where your meeting takes place. Okay, let's continue on our journey here. So next up, our carriage moves along and we have the area of your union, which is the ring here. So we have tea ceremony. Ooh. Okay, yeah, I get a sense of very traditional marriage. Very classy, very elegant, yeah, very traditional. So your union, I do see it coming into the forms of marriage. What else we have here? Yeah, just a lot of classiness feeling to it, very traditional vibes. Or I mean, in terms of like the ceremony itself. That's what it feels like. Yeah, it feels like there's a ceremony involved of sorts. But I see everyone being very calm, very, you know, happy, enjoying it. It's a very nice decor decorum kind of ceremony. Very that's the best way to describe it. Very classy. Yes. Okay, let's look at the energy pervading that. Okay, we have the Five of Wands. Yeah, I hear no quarrels. And then we have the Fool. Okay, honeymoon vibes. Lovely. So we have here, let me scoot these cards down a little bit. Yes, so with this classy decorum ceremony here for your union or your marriage, yeah, I see no nonsense, no fuss, no silliness. Yeah, literally no nonsense. But the honeymoon phase will be very pleasurable. It's like a new adventure for you. Yeah, I feel like you two picked or are going to pick a very what's the right word for it? Curated kind of location or place or yeah, destination to go to. Perhaps I'm picking up strong Japanese vibes here. Perhaps some of you tuning in are of that culture or know something of that culture or have lived there or has some sort of tie or association to that that culture. But yeah, strong vibes of that coming in, but that's only for some of you, of course. That's rather specific. But yeah, it feels like the honeymoon phase is like the whole kickoff or send off to a new beautiful, yeah, the really kind of like the initiation or start of your relationship. And like I said, marriage is coming through strongly here for you and your soulmate. Timing wise, this is curious. We have this one that goes with this pile, but this one kind of wavers between this one and this one. So we'll look at it now, but we might relate back to it later if it pertains. And it seems to be falling across all spaces as well. So the union aspect, oh, and also on timing, of course, one quick note, know that it changes and varies. Timelines very different, and of course it's a general reading, so we have the timelines of various people coming through here too. And the other aspect is the suits corresponds primarily with certain amount of times. So spades are days, diamonds are weeks, hearts are months, and then clubs are years. Yes. Wait, is that right? Yes, that's right. We're doing, yeah, because the tradition of this timing with the playing cards corresponds to the elements of each. So 10, it goes from ace to 10, and 10 means either 10 or more. And then we have the other court suits as well. Okay, so what we have for the marriage here is the 10 of clubs. So it's 10 plus years. This is quite an enduring marriage. And I also hear there'll be ups and downs within this marriage. That is normal of any marriage. And if there's growth to be had for both you and your soulmate, yeah, there's going to be times when there are ups and downs. That's primarily what I'm getting, in addition to the time here. But it will be an enduring marriage. It will be long-lasting. It's like 10 plus years here is what we're getting, even up to like 50 years. Okay, let's see what this is here. And we have the Jack of Spades, which is the Jack of the air element. What is this in regards to? Okay. Perhaps this, I don't know what the nature of this challenge is, but we talk about ups and downs, and there will be a Jack of Swords that will come into kind of challenge and strengthen your relationship at the same time, because yes, the I don't know what the nature, let's see, do we know the nature of this challenge here? We're gonna have to find out with our clarifier. It's not giving me too much. Okay, and this is the one that pops in between the piles. So there's some sort of person, younger in their energy or in their maturity, in their nature overall, that comes to challenge your relationship. But I hear that as if you are able to endure or engage in such a way that is good for your growth, then that strengthens and makes the bond of the relationship stronger. So this person comes in as a challenge, yes, but there's something they're bringing to make, just the nature of that that situation is for it to help your relationship to grow should you take up that challenge. Okay, all right, let's look at the next area. So as we go along your horse-drawn carriage ride here, we see what you offer each other. This is the chocolate or candy or the sweetness portion of your relationship. And for that, we have the Garden of the Night. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Several messages coming through here. Let's see. So give me just a moment here, stars. Okay, so Scorpios are coming strongly through here, or at least Scorpio energy in terms of the sexual realm. So yes, the intimate part of the relationship will be good. And let's see, what else have we got here? There's something about nighttime. Something about it, like finding the comfort. I don't know why I'm getting like strongly like night owls kind of vibe, but what that points me to is that not necessarily that you guys are night owls. It's more so you stars, sorry. That you stars are night owls. It's more so the ambience and the energy of being a night owl. That's what drives a lot of night owls to stay up late. It's that quiet, intimate, serene aspect of the nighttime that makes it so appealing, and that is the quintessential essence of what we've got here coming on for your relationship. The sweetness of it is the essence of the quietude and the calmness and the intimacy of the relationship itself. Not that has anything to do with the night or day or but it's the essence of that energy of just having that serene stillness, quiet, peace, solitude just between the two of you, or more if you have multiple partners. But yes, it is that intimacy, that ambiance, that is captured there, that is the sweetness and the quintessential essence of this relationship. Yeah. And of course, like we said, the intimacy on a sexual level as well. I hear it's very opening for the both of you, as in like you can take it to a whole nother level, more than just the pure physical aspect of the sex itself. Of course, it's very pleasurable, but then there's, yeah, it's like you can go deeper spiritually somehow. It's like almost like, yeah, no, we'll leave the message there. I think it doesn't necessarily have to do with like, but it can be. That's what I'm hearing. It can be more than just physical. You can elevate it to a spiritual level. Yes, because Scorpio, or I don't know whether some of you are Scorpios or not, but it's more so the energy of Scorpio really going into the depths and the the deep depths of any emotions, really. Yes. So whether in the process of intimacy or in the process of interacting with your emotions, you can get into the depths there and really expand on that emotional growth. It's what can be stemmed from the nature of this relationship. Wow, that's a deep energy there. Absolutely lovely. Okay, let's look at our clarification for this area. So we have the 8 of Wands. Okay. We have the 7 of Wands. Okay, we have a progression here. Okay, give me just a second. And then we have the High Priestess. Yeah, a lot of you are deep intuitives, or have some sense of psychic or mystical or clairvoyance or clair anything abilities that makes you stand out and makes you different from the crowd. And what happens with that is society doesn't readily accept, or more so, yeah, they're not readily open. That's the other openness aspect here. They're not readily open to this kind of thing yet, right? The spirituality, the realm. So in the past, either perhaps for you and your soulmate as well, or soulmates, having these more, what is that word that I just had it? Not esoteric, yeah, different than the norm or the crowd, but at the same time making you stand out from the crowd. And the thing is, you don't feel like you blend in. Scorpio energy is coming in strongly again here. Kind of standing out from the crowd and withdrawing and pulling away from the crowd because you don't feel like you meld or mesh with the crowd very well. Feeling like you always have to take your stance among people, especially in regards to any kind of psychic realm feel or abilities, or even interest. Feeling kind of like, like gives me that gothic kind of vibe, like the goth in like in high school or something like that. Yeah, where they don't stand. They don't blend as the quote unquote norm, the normal kids do. So they stand out and they're more like in their own meld, in their own group. That's the energy we're getting here, but more so on that esoteric, mystical, psychic nature. Always having to feel like standing your ground. But the essence and the sweetness of this relationship that you really appreciate is that it feels like with this connection with this soulmate, which union is highly probable here, is that you feel like it hits the mark on the spot. It's like, you understand me. Yeah, and that's why you're going into union with this person, because you two complement and understand each other so well. Yeah, that's the sweetness of it. So that's absolutely wonderful. Okay, let's look at the last area here. And this is where we have your photo album, or the potential of this relationship, where it can go and how it can grow. Of course, we have transcendence. That's wonderful. Yeah. On the surface, this is unbeknown to both of you, perhaps, both you and your soulmate. But yeah, this, like we mentioned earlier, this relationship has potential to go to a lot greater heights than it looks on the surface. It's like, on the surface, yes, it's cute, lovey-dovey, very formal structure, but in the depths of it, when you both explore yourself on all depths and all levels, that's when emotionally and spiritually you both can transcend many barriers, many limits, many limitations in terms of both your mind and your spiritual growth. And at the same time, it'll feel very comforting, very loving, very genteel is what I'm hearing. So gentle. Yeah, there's an airiness of cutesy, that lovey-dovey in there somewhere. It may not be on the surface, as a Scorpio is on the surface. It may feel intimidating, and you're just the nature of what you are may be a bit more stingy, but underneath it's like that soft inner interior, that is the sweetness there that most people don't get to see, except your soulmate partner, of course. Okay, and let's look at our clarifier for this. So we have the star. Yes. And most depiction of the star is singular, but you have two soulmates coming through as this depiction, and they're both looking up to the same star. So it's a wish come true for both of you. This union, guided by divine, is fated to be. It is, yes, it is one of another's wish for each other. We have the Knight of Coins. Okay, one of you may have gifts as your love language. So, yes, I see, yeah, I see a lot of little, more like gestures, yes. A combination of gifts and gestures, but perhaps more so gestures that are coming through, like little notes, little poems, little things here and there that your soulmate does, or that you do for each other, that will feel very tender, very sweet. It's like, it's something you don't expect, but it's part of that sweetness there. Yeah, it's the little things you do for one another. That's lovely. Okay, and then we have the Nine of Coins. Yeah. This is something you both could ever wish for. Like we said, having the star along with the Nine of Coins and the sweetness in between here. This is, well, we are looking at your soulmates, right? So this is the perfect union to be. So in terms of the enduring aspect and the potential for this relationship, there's that transcendence of the spiritual growth, and then the potential and possibility of this being an ever long-lasting, enduring relationship, because it is so, it's a wish come true, is the best way to state it. yeah, it's like a wish come true. And it's going to be quite fulfilling in so many ways, especially on the physical, sensual pleasure way that we talked about already. But particularly, this is a reiteration of that. Yeah, absolutely amazing, lovely relationship we have going on here in this pile, and the potential of it to become so much more. Okay, let's look at the timing. Spirit wanted to give the timing on this too. So this would be 10 plus days. Okay, and that's why. It's the days to come. It's like this relationship will be an enduring one for the days to come is what I'm hearing. Because 10 indicates 10 plus days. And this is the one falling between here. But I don't feel a significant energy anymore in relation to this. So it really does indicate the challenges that comes along here. Which will be part of your growth of being together. But the enduring nature and potential of what you have, especially for the days to come, is a wish-fulfilled relationship. It's quite amazing. Do we need any more clarity, Spirit? I hear some of you are curious about how you're going to meet. Okay, so let's do... Okay, and there we go. Is this it? No. Let's do the practical aspect of how you're going to meet here. I mean, as we said already, it's when you kind of venture out of your norm, your daily activities, something breaking out of your usual routine or horizons, to seek or just to try something different, which is hard for you and perhaps both of you because you're both shy on a different kind of level. It's more like, yeah, that goth shy versus, yeah. Okay. So Pile1's really curious, Spirit. They want to know how they meet. Can we get a little bit more info on how they meet? Are we taking both of this? Just this one. Okay. The heart. Doing something you love. Whether you're seeking out something new, especially if you're seeking out something new, something, yes, something that you love. Is it something inspiring or something artsy? Event is what I'm hearing. Event. Okay. So some sort of event, like Comic-Con or something you always wanted to go to, but you that you love and that you enjoy and that you are passionate about. That will be the practical aspect. Yeah. So don't just try anything out on a whim. And what I mean by that is like, well, still do. I mean, life is full of pleasures. Don't limit yourself. But don't just decide to randomly go to a cooking class if you don't like cooking. Do it something more in the realm of what you love. If you like comics and cosplay and stuff like that, then yes, go to Comic-Con. That would be more along something that is aligned with your interest and your passion. So if you're curious of how you're meeting, it's doing something that you love, that's out of the box for you. And then, yes. Okay, I don't need to touch on that message anymore. All right, Pile1, that was your reading. You have a wonderful, lovely, amazing partnership coming up ahead of you. So really looking forward to that. Happy Valentine's Day. So if you enjoyed the reading, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not already. I'm wishing you a wonderful, magical day wherever you are, whenever and wherever. Shine bright, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, lovely stars. Hello, Pile2. Welcome to your reading. Alright, so your horse-drawn carriage has arrived. Let's see what areas. So as your carriage picks you and your soulmate up, let's see your first impression here. That is the bouquet. Your first initial impression of each other. Your meeting. Then we have your ring, your union. If that is to take place or if you want to take place. Like we said, all this is potential, right? And third is your chocolate or your sweetness, the essence of your relationship should you choose to go forward with it. And then also, last but not least, we have your photo album, the potential and growth of this relationship, especially further down the line, and the potential of what it can become in the future. Okay, so let's first look at your bouquet, your first initial meeting and greeting of each other. And before I say anything, I feel like I have a lot of skeptical energy eyes on here, so just a quick note on that, and that's completely okay. Like I said, you have free will and free choice in terms of what you want to do with your life and your relationship. So just want to give you that note. All right, so we have divination, prophecy, fate, destiny, future, fortune. Okay. I feel like a lot of you are reliant and dependent on divination, literally. To kind of determine your connection and faith, and you feel that it is guided there via divination, where your meeting of your soulmate, whenever and wherever it is, it feels like it's through the through divination that will guide your path to that. It feels quite a reliant energy is what we're getting strongly coming through here. But to you, it feels like, or at least the meeting, the first impression there, it feels like it's divinely guided. Yes. Okay. And perhaps you do get a lot of regular divination via tarot readings or otherwise, to give you clues and hints and ideas, or even possibly introspection is what I'm getting. Coming through to lead you and guide you in so many ways. Also being pointed out to 15 here, could be a date of any month. So let's look at our clarifiers for this energy of your bouquet, your meeting, your first impression, feeling that it's divinely guided, or reached or brought there through divination. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups. Okay. Praying and wishing. But interestingly, a combination of what you ardently try to manifest is what I'm hearing. Okay. Okay, judgment. Okay, so we have judgment next. Yes, looking up to the stars, the sky, the heavens, the divine, and the tower. Okay. So, interesting message coming through here. Your meeting will be quite unexpected. It is something that you've been hoping and praying for and looking to, feeling like it's like a divine intervention that comes through. But the divine intervention that comes through for you is not in the way you think it is. And just a quick note as well, everything that comes through these messages is from spirit with love, right? For growth, development and your own evolution. So just please be aware that everything that comes through is meant to come through with love. No matter how seemingly harsh or challenging it can be. So the divine intervention that you're getting in this meeting is, yes, something quite rather unexpected, but it's not in the way that you think it is. You think because through divination, through manifestation, that this is the one that's coming through. But the way that Spirit sends it to you, that in itself is the divine intervention. And I'm getting strongly here, Spirit advising you to not be so reliant or dependent on a certain fixed pattern of energy is what's coming through. It's like however your soulmate or your dream lover or your projected partner comes through, it may not be in the way that you envision it or that you think you envision it. That's why it comes in the form of a tower. And it's something that you've looked to so strongly and you wish on it. It's funny here, I have to point out, like, this deck is so simplistic yet so amazing in terms of its messages. So it's like there you see all these many cups that are possible, right? That's the many ways that Spirit can sense it to you. There's a heart, a star, a moon, an earth, diamonds, house, you name it. There's so many, a plethora of ways for it to enter your life and to flow so smoothly. But you see this poor whale straining, sweating, holding on to one specific cup while impaling all the other, because praying, thinking that this is the one way to get there. It's like, if I do this so vehemently, so if I adhere to this way of doing it so specifically, that's how my soulmate's going to come in. But Spirit's like, well, no, you're actually piercing all the other possibilities that it can flow in. And they're pointing me to the frame and the border of how the cups can even come in such an unexpected way, right? It's not even in the picture, it's just in the frame itself. But that's the the unlimited, limitless potential that you and Spirit has for this way to come in. It's via judgment, which means there's two messages coming through here. You looking so vehemently towards the projected of what could be, but Spirit will bring it down through the way that is most beneficial for you. And sometimes it takes strong divination, or divine intervention to come through, but not in the same way that you would expect. Okay, very interesting for your first meeting. It's like, very expectant in a certain way for the first meeting, but it could be completely different than what you expect. Which in turns might be very beneficial, because with all the choices we saw there, stars, diamond, house, hearts, as opposed to just holding one cup, will allow you to have so many other open possibilities, not only for finding and meeting that soulmate, but also in terms of the potential of what you could have with your soulmate. Okay, let's look at the next area here, which is your ring or your union, or the potential to connect and join a form and union here. We have wave of power with a surge of power, upswinging energy, and exhilarating movement. Okay. Yes, a very strong, excited feeling in regards to the union here. It's like an aha, like a finally moment. yes, it will give you, when you do choose, 42 is being pointed out here. The numbers are coming through today. But yeah, 42 is being pointed out here. Why are we getting that? Maybe there's an impetus of expectations because perhaps an age is coming through for some of you. Whether you are 42 or you're in your 40s or hitting your 50s, and there's an expectant energy there. It's like, when is this going to happen, kind of thing. Okay, but when it does come in, it will feel like a surge of energy that rejuvenates and enlivens you. Yeah, that's the nature, excuse me, the nature of this connection, of this union between the two of you. Yeah, okay. And let's look at our clarifier for that. 2 of Pentacles. Okay. And then we have 2 of Swords. Talk about twos in terms, especially with union. Okay. Interesting. So, quite coincidental and synchronistic that 2s, like I said, are coming out. If you break this down, it's also 4 is 2, 2, and then 42 here, so 2, 2, 2, and more 2s. So reiterations of 2s. So, interestingly, with this union between you and your potential soulmates here, it has great potential to be very beautiful, to be a blossoming relationship. Yes, very fulfilling and blossoming, but at the same time it can also be challenging, because this is potentially what can happen. It's like, yes, you two are good partners for each other, but what happens is when the challenging times or the stressful time comes up, it makes you doubt, it makes you question, it makes you wonder. It's like, was this really the soulmate relationship that I really wanted? Because there are things for you to learn and grow there. And when I say you, we're talking about partnership here, right? So it might be your partner as well, or vice versa, or both. It will make you wonder, like, was this really the relationship that I wanted? And there will be this kind of wavering back and forth. And that is the potential for growth here in your union, to go within and reflect. Because I feel like a lot of you do use divination, do use tarot readings, you use whatever way you have to connect to divine, to answer your question, to reflect. So when you waver, you can always go within. When you have doubts, when you question, you can always go within to ask. So yes, I feel that it is a revitalizing energy in a form, sort of shape, but it will bring along some challenges, because you're wondering, it's like, is this it? Is this the one? Is this the thing? And yes, it will be going back and forth, but therein lies the potential for growth within that aspect of the relationship and of that union. Okay, moving on. Let's go to our chocolate portion here of our carriage ride, which is where the sweetness or quintessential essence of your relationship is. And we have, yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining. I hear intense, tumultuous, passionate. Let's see, what is it in regards to this yearning, spirit? So this is the sweetness and essence of your relationship here. Well, there's going to be lots of exciting events. Let's just put it that way. um, there will be some ups and downs as well, as we talked about, with some of the ambivalence here and going back and forth with the twos and the twos of with the mind and questioning. But yeah, so there'll be some ups and downs, but at the same time, it won't ever be boring. So that's a good thing. It will be exciting and passionate is the essence of your relationship. It will be challenging as well, but at the same time it will be fun, it will be exciting, it will be passionate. There will never be a stale or bored moment for your relationship. And let's look at our clarifier, the devil here. I hear decadent, delicious, devilish. A lot of sensual, passionate romance, and sex as well, intimacy. Yes. So it will be very passionate, is what we know for sure. Very pleasurable, very sensual, yes, in all shapes and forms here. There's no reservations. Some of you I hear are foodies, or you enjoy cuisine together, or you greatly enjoy, some sort of, you enjoy the sensual pleasures of life. So generally speaking, we're talking about food and sex. Okay. Okay, anything else we have in this sector, Spirit? Yeah, no, the quintessential essence of that sweetness of the relationship, we have covered all those aspects. Let's go on to the next and last area here, which is your photo book or memoir album. And what we have here is transparency, honest, authentic, genuine, present. Okay. So honesty is key, is what I'm hearing here, that's coming through. The nature of the potential for growth in this relationship projected down the line far into the future is the honesty between each other. But that's not the main thing I'm hearing. The main thing I'm getting is the honesty within yourself. Because part of this relationship, with all its challenges that brings you, with this soulmate potential connection relationship, is it allows you to go deeper and dive deeper within yourself. Okay, that's why this oracle came through now, just hit me. The mermaid oracles allow you to dive very, very to the depths of your emotions, the depths of who you are, whether you have grown to the level where you want to be or not quite there yet. The relationship itself, through part of that tumultuous, passionate, energetic nature, and even with the questioning and the ambivalency, will allow you to go deeper and deeper, dive deeper within, to be honest with yourself and to see what traits and characteristics, and especially the challenging parts of the relationship, to let you know whether like you've grown to where you want to be at a certain area of your life. So a concrete example of that might be, like before you get into this relationship, perhaps there were parts of you that you were saying like, oh, like I'm really confident about myself when it comes to, I don't know, what's, help me out here, Spirit, what good example do we have about transparency or about clairvoyancy? But then as you get into relationship and it challenges you, or even about doubt, about self-confidence, right? Then it gets to a point where in the relationship, it forces you to ask yourself like, oh, am I really confident about that aspect of my life, about whether I can trust my intuition, or are there a lot of doubts swimming on the surface and I need to go deeper? It's that kind of honesty within yourself that will give you the potential in this relationship. And keep in mind, we're talking about soulmate connection here, right? So that goes for your partner as well. This may be applicable to both of you, where you both get to become transparent with each other and then transparent with yourself. Okay, let's look at our clarifier for this here. So we have the King of Cups. Yes. Okay. Yes, it's about being honest with both, not only your emotions, so definitely being honest about your emotions, bring it to the surface, acknowledging it, instead of having it's funny how this King of Cups is depicted with this disdain kind of like attitudes, like, oh, I know my emotions, like I'm the king of my emotions, look at me holding my cup, my emotions are just pouring out. It's like, I know how I feel, whenever I feel, whatever I feel. But it's more so asking you, the clarification here is the potential. It's like, well, how deep do you really feel that? How deep do you think you really know or feel that aspect of yourself? And it's it's the energy of the King of Cups here. So we're going the full spectrum, diving very, very deep. Whales can dive very deep while holding their breaths, and then really asking the question there in the depth and the essence of your being. Okay, and then we have the Star. Yes, this union, wow, okay, I just got the shivers. This union, this potential for growth is huge in terms of what it can do for you, because once you dive really deep and not only find out about your emotions, but another message coming through here is your ability whether to heal or whether to connect with the divine or really to tap into your psychic abilities. You will skyrocket to what you want to become and what you want to access in terms of both your emotions and in terms of your intuitive or psychic abilities. That is the full growth and expansion there, or the potential there in this relationship. So this union can be very helpful, very grand in terms of helping you evolve on a psychic, spiritual, and on a deep emotional level as well. Wow, okay, wonderful, Pile2. A lot of growth and potential, energy, excitement coming through for this pile. Lovely to hear. Do we need any clarification on this area, Spirit? Or is anybody here asking for clarification? Okay, some people wanting to know more of this, but Spirit's telling me, that's in the depth of the relationship itself. Nothing in the cards. They're reminding me again not to be too reliant on external tools and methods, even like the tarot or cartomancy or anything else. It's the deeper diving, going deep within. I see this almost like a progression here. You listening to other external forces or resources when you can really go deep within, into your intuition, into yourself. There's no need to. It's helpful, of course, yes, listening to tarot readings like these and doing other divination things or using other divination tools. But they're reminding me, as you are questioning about this, about all of this, about this whole tarot reading, the best sources is to go with your own inner source, and that is to your higher self, and if need be, to source itself. Yeah. Then the union will help you skyrocket your trust as well. Yeah, your trust and your honesty with your own abilities. Okay. Now we're good with that. Yes. Okay. All right, Pile2. That was your reading. Absolutely wonderful, amazing. Happy Valentine's Day to you. If you liked the video, enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm wishing you a wonderful, magical day whenever and wherever you are. Take care of yourself, shine ever so bright, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, lovely stars. Hello, Pile3. Welcome to your reading. Alright, so your horse-drawn carriage has arrived, and it's going to pick you and your soulmate up here. This will be your bouquet or first impression or meeting with each other. This will be your ring or union. And this will be your chocolate, your sweet or essence, quintessential essence of the relationship. This will be your photo book, which will be your potential or growth or the nature of this relationship, long-term or projected time to come. All right, so let's look at the first area here of your bouquet, your meeting, your first impression. And we have be a light to others. Wow, okay. All right, the energy is coming through strongly here. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so that others can learn from you. Your first meeting is magnetic, magnanimous, magnificent. It's full of radiant joy and light and jubilant kind of energy. Just you two are both giddy. At least in the first meeting anyways. It feels so, wow, enriching, enlivening, revitalizing, or just vitalizing in general. Yeah, very full of fantastic light is what it's like. It's also tingly in that magical sense. It's like your encounter and your meeting is magical. It is the best word we have to describe it. It's so tingly. And it's full of radiant, magnificent light. It's like I'm hearing how that saying says like recognizes like. It's more so light recognizes light. It's like because you both are beaming with such light that you both recognize and resonance and are seeing each other on that wavelength, that it feels like, wow, these two balls of light are coming together and it just illuminates everything. Absolutely magnificent. Okay, let's look at your clarification here. We have Malika of Coins. Okay, wow, interesting. And we have the Alchemist. Oh, I see the divinity symbol here, or the infinity symbol. Okay. Interesting. Some of you are also, well, maybe perhaps both of you as well, because we are talking about soulmate here, is that you both are quite busy in your worldly matters, that even though you've manifested each other, you aren't expecting it. All the more reason it strongly pulls it to you. We're talking about magician, manifestor, creation energy here, but I feel like the setting in which you're meeting is very serene, almost has a spiritual sense to it, for some of you. it's a combination here. Let's look at the final card before we speak further into both of these energies. Oh my god, I knew this was gonna come out. We have the Ace of Cups. This is very lovely. Okay, Ace of Cups. What energy going through here? So part of your first meeting, it's gonna flow naturally, like a boat down like a river. But as you can see here, these boats of flowers, and there is such a natural flow and beauty to it, a natural connection, a magical connection here. Two messages coming in for the circumstances. Some of you will be meeting, I just heard ashram. So some of you will be meeting in a very spiritual setting or place, or in an activity where it's very conducive to some sort of spiritual connection. So this could be anything like a yoga class, an ashram, a temple, even being not outside in nature when you are connecting to the divine, right? It's also very calm, serene setting. So for some of you, that's what we're getting. There's this kind of placidity, serene nature, and spiritual nature and aspects. For some of you, it more so is at work. We see here being busy and being in attending to worldly matters. Literally, we have see the earth in the back here, and seeing just you being busy, whether at work or doing something of the sort, or in business, or some sort of that kind of societal hustle bustle, busybody energy going on is for some of you, where some others of you where the connection will take place. And whatever the connection is, wherever it is and however it is, like I said, already feels like amazing energy of two like fusing and radiating outward, but it's going to be a magical, natural flow. Okay, wonderful to start. Let's see. Our next area here is your ring, which is your union. Okay, so let's see here. We have, and this card, although we didn't show it in the selection process, it was the card underneath when I put it back into the deck to shuffle. Trust in divine purpose. So this is the area where we are looking at your union. Okay. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. Okay, trust in divine purpose. There's a greater purpose here for both of you within this union. That's why it's so divinely guided. And you two are here to expand each other on a spiritual level, and perhaps help each other with some of your spiritual project or growth as well. So it's a combination of helping each other with your spiritual growth, and then helping if one or both of you are doing some sort of spiritual endeavors or project or any kind of thing going on. There's an aspect of that as well, but this is certainly divinely guided here for your union to come together, because there's divine purpose in your union itself. Okay, let's see. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, let's see. Let's look at our clarifiers. We have the Five of Staves. In a world where everybody's competing, it's like you two, your union will be the magic. The magic to do what, Spirit? Let's see. To teach them another way. perhaps it's in relation to, okay. We might need some clarification on that, but you both, your union is to teach humanity in some sort of way. They're so caught up in their daily mundanes and their bickering and fighting and just kind of being monotonous about, going on their life without any kind of direction or purpose. And then your union somehow adds a sparkle of magic and touch and inspiration into their life in some shape, form, another. Let's see if we can get more clarification on this here. We have a progression here from the 5 of Staves to the 6 of Staves. Okay. I hear leader in the process. And let's see, we need a clarification here. Yeah, your union is leading people in some shape or form or fashion in a very resplendent, in a very what's the best word to describe this, loving, sympathetic, gentle kind of way. It's not like you two are making a presence and then coercing people in any way or have any sort of pressure. It's more like an inviting and encouragement that will help people. It's an inspiration or a model to look up to versus like a regime or something that forces or coerces people. It's more like an encouragement. Yes. And that's why it's magically people are willing to celebrate it, because it's something they readily accept without coercion or force. It's something they look up to or aspire to. It's like something you to create or part of your union. What forms from your union is inspiring to others. Okay, before we look at the timing on that, I do want to look at a clarification. This speaks pretty much to the general aspect, as we have a general reading here, but if we could get a little bit more clue, Spirit, in terms of Pile3 and their soulmates union here, what it provides the world. Yes, can we get a bit more information on what it provides to the world? Okay. We have the scythe. Okay. It's cutting away the nuance with love. Yes. In terms of, I hear processing, a lot of processing. So perhaps it's in the career of health or mental health or something like that, but it is the, okay, hold on, let me draw 2 more. But there's some sort of process that you're helping through, whether it's the processing of loss, processing of some sort of mental challenge or loss that allows people to shift and harvest. Let's get more clarity before we convolute that message. We have the clover. We have the fish. And we have the person. Okay. Everything reiterates role model. Yes, going from a period of loss, confusion, and shifting into and harvesting. It's actually in the process of harvesting that energy and shifting and transforming into something productive, that where perhaps part of your story or your stories individually in the coming together is the hardship that you two had to endure, and it's like serendipity brought you together, but you to make something out of your hardships together, and that's why you become such an iconic couple, or whatever the creation is from your union. Yeah, it could be a creation, or it could be your union itself that is celebratory and a model in and of itself. Okay. Yeah, but we're getting a lot of the model figure or example type here to be celebrated. Let's look a bit into timing here. And of course, a note on timing, it is variable. And in this deck, this playing cards deck, spades are days, diamonds are weeks, hearts are months, and then clubs are years. And anything, any cards that is 10 is 10 or more. Okay. And there are court cases and jokers as well. So timing wise, we have 2 weeks. Okay. 2 weeks of what, Spirit? So this is a union here. It's not 2 weeks until your union. It's more so, what is this in regards to 2 weeks? This ties back to your meeting. Okay, that's what we're getting. Once you met each other, the union will be very quick. For some of you, it could be a matter of 2 weeks. Is that right, Spirit? No. Well, yeah. A very small fraction of you, that will be the case. Quite a meeting. 2 balls of light, like I said. You will know for sure. Okay. It's like that impression. It's like when you first get an impression and you know whether a relationship's going to work out or not. That's the impression we're getting. Not so much the union. Within 2 weeks of meeting this person, you will know whether there's a union or not. Yes. For some of you, like I said, majorly quick, it will be a matter within 2 weeks that you talk about, getting into a relationship or going into a relationship with each other. It will be that quick, yes. And for others of you, it's, yeah, like we mentioned already, you will know within a matter of weeks whether this is your soulmate or not. Yeah. It's just in that span of hanging out with them or spending time with them. Okay, really cool. Let's look at your next area here, the sweetness or the chocolate portion of your carriage ride. Okay, we have deeper insights are at hand. Your overall plan is good, but the details need work. Reflect before moving forward. So the sweetness here. The sweetness, oh, that's really sweet. It's an enduring ride. It's not something that that you feel like at the beginning, like a honeymoon phase, and it fades away. It's the sweetness that is a long ride. What we're being reminded of here is Godiva, and how she rode through like her town, but very slowly and steadily to make her point, as we see the image here. But yeah, so the sweetness and the magic here never fades away is what I'm getting. It's like a long, enduring magic that just persists throughout time. Just like Godiva's ride through the town. It's enduring, and every step of the way is significant, because the energy that is pervasive of that ride is itself significant. The whole ride is significance, and that's what this relationship is. The sweetness of it, every essence, every step of the way, the sweetness will not ever fade. Okay, beautiful. Okay, and let's see our clarification for that. Okay, so these are upside down. Okay, so 2 of Cups. Yeah. I see you two making many meals together. It's going to be very loving. Yeah, see, talking about the endurance of the ride, we see an old couple here, so a very long enduring, and the sweetness never fades away, no matter how many decades or eons or years have gone by. That's beautiful. Okay, we have the 7 of Staffs. Ties me back to the energy of the 5 of Staffs here a little bit. But whatever is going on, the magic you two hold creates this sanctuary. And perhaps you two will be creating some sort of sanctuary, or perhaps a retreat that people can go to. But from wherever the madness or the craziness that's going on outside in the world, as long as you have your union, you two will be magically sanctuary in that magic, without any bother whatsoever. Like nothing can touch your spirit and your energy as long as you two are strong together. Yeah. And our last card here, we have Taslim, which is the Hangman. That's gorgeous. Okay, so I hear every moment matters. It's like every drop of rain here. Yeah, that's really beautiful. No matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter how you two are feeling, whether sometimes you feel like you're stuck or you're trapped, or you're just in a period of reflection and thought with nowhere to go, no action to take, every moment, even those moments, will be precious. It's like every moment matters. Whether those moments are challenging or those moments are loving, regardless of what it is, yeah, each moment is precious in its own way. And it can be, yeah, the essence of that it is it can be appreciated in each of every moment for itself. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, let's look at your last area here. We have the photo book, or where your relationship has potential to grow and evolve and transcend. So we have stay the course, don't panic, you're not on the wrong path, you're just having a bumpy start, learn from your experiences and keep going. Ooh, wow. So we have Archangel Michael here himself, showing you the horizon. His sword of light or truth is always with you. Okay. This, yes, so along your path, along your challenges, along your daily nuances in life and whatever craziness is going on in the world, like I said, as long as you two, and I mean, you two are very supporting and loving each other, right? So as long as you two stay the course, which means not only are you in the relationship, as long as you stay your spiritual course, you have the potential to ascend to the heavens, is what we're getting. Wherever or whatever that is. But to ascend to greater vibration, to greater dimension. Ooh, that's why you two are so guiding towards others. I see you two both having potentials to become spiritual guides in future lifetimes or future incarnations. It's a lot of a bigger concept than that, to be a spiritual guide. But once you ascend to higher dimensions, say like the angelic realm, the seraphim realm, the seraphim realm, or the 8th dimension, or even further, right? Like, you have the potential to become guides to others if you choose to, or if you want to. And that's what we're heading for. And that's why you two are so inspiring to each other in this lifetime, in this incarnation, as in this incarnation as a couple together. You already exude that energy because you're two balls of light, just two radiant beings, amazing, that are coming together. And when that energy combines, it only magnifies. So that is already a great inspiration to people on a physical level here in the earthly realm. But on a spiritual realm, the essence and the growth of where this relationship can go is even to greater dimensions and greater heights here. Okay, let's look at the clarification here. Yeah, we have the King of Staffs, or the Shah of Staffs here. Yeah, the utmost potential of spiritual development and growth. And the Nine of Coins is to bring, yes, wow, okay. Yes, being a messenger or a guide to bring spirituality to the physical realm. Yeah. There's nothing else more to say than that, except it's amazing. Yes. So the potential of this enduring relationship with your soulmate here has great potential to elevate to higher vibration, to higher dimensions, to higher being, a state of being. If you both choose to go that route, you can use your union and your growth with one another to really ascend to greater heights beyond this dimension, and to come back and help other people as well as spiritual guides if you so desire. We have we have the reiteration and the synchronicities of birds here coming back as guides. So yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Okay, and let's look at the timing for that. And of course, we have the Queen of Air, or Spades here. You come back as a teacher. So, yes, so like we talked about timing already, with the court cards here, I see this coming back not in this incarnation, but once you have become a guide. You can project yourself, whether as a guide, or you can have a momentary projection as a physical incarnation as a teacher, but it will be some sort of teacher, some way, shape, form, or another. That will be very, it will be, what's the right way to describe it here? So I'm getting very kind of like, the Queen is the heart of the suit, right? At least when we're looking at tarot in nature, the Queen is the heart of the suit, whereas the King is the ruler. And we do have a king here, but this is speaking about your utmost potential of spirituality and spiritual growth here. But the form that you come back in future incarnations, or just even on a spiritual realm, coming in to help people. It's going to be a very strong, firm, yes, firm guide, but it will be from a very loving space. Yes, is what we're getting. It will be a teacher on that level from the spiritual realm, which will give you strong, firm guidance when you need to hear it. When I mean you, I'm talking now about the future incarnation of you and how helping other people. But yeah, the way you do it is from the heart with a lot of love, but also in the sense of very firm and guiding energy. Wow. Okay, Pile3, your pile was absolutely wonderful energy to tap into. Amazing union, beautiful union, divinely guided, so much light, so much purity, so much growth and potential. Major growth here. Did not expect this to come through a reading, so high applause and kudos for you should you seek this path and potential to become things so much greater and to come back as well in future, not only in incarnations but from the spiritual realms to help people. Wow, okay. Mind blown, flabbergasted. Yeah, absolutely amazing, astounding. Thank you so much for having your presence here and your energy. So Pile3, that was your reading. Go forth. I hope you join with your soulmates really soon. Some of you, it's very soon. And to do the amazing growth and work that you are aspiring to do, and to become a great model for others and help others. All right, Pile3, that was your reading. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm wishing you a wonderful magical day whenever and wherever you are. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Shine ever so bright. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, lovely stars. Hello, Pile4. Welcome to your reading. Alright, so your horse-drawn carriage has arrived to sweep you and your soulmate off into the distance here. And first, we will look at your bouquet, your first meeting, your impression of one another. Then we'll look at your ring, your union. Then you will look at your chocolate on your right here, which is the sweetness or quintessential essence of your relationship. And then finally, we'll look at your photo book, the potential, what this relationship can become, what it can evolve and grow into, or how it can help you further or expand or grow both you and your soulmate. Okay, so first we have joy as your first impression with one another. Okay, I see. Yes, so there is joy. That is an aspect of it, but I also see a lot of refinedness there. It's like almost like eyeing each other with a curated look or a finesse, or there's some sort of elegant form coming through. Yes, perhaps some of you are artists or in the artsy world, or have an eye for appreciation of the finer things, of the finer details in life. But it's in the noticing of those aspects. Of course, your hearts will call to each other, so the vibration and the vibes will connect and link on that level. However, on the first impression surface notice is like, yeah, noticing the fine details, perhaps picking up on certain traits or characteristics of their personalities, or what they're wearing, what they look like, the way like they hold their hands in a certain position, or their glasses, or their ears, things like that. There's a lot of details is what's coming through here in terms of your first meeting. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and let's look at our clarifiers for this to see more about this first meeting. We have the Inspiration of Swords, Creative idea or project, planetarium, atmosphere, science related, technology. A lot of that's coming through. Okay. And next we have death and rebirth. Okay. Also nature coming through here. So several scenarios for different people here because this is a general reading. But you'll certainly be picking up on details and refined aspects, especially of their looks and personality traits and things like that. It'll come into your notice. Then we have Four of Wands. Theme park. Okay. But some sort of celebratory places with people. So we have 3 different situations and scenarios coming through here. For some of you, well, actually 4 scenario, considering that we mentioned artists earlier too, right? So some sort of gallery exhibits, perhaps, for some of you. Some others of you, it's science related, some sort of project, creative, quests. Two specific places are coming out. Planetarium and puzzles, or those escape rooms, yes. I don't know if those still are running or something else, but some sort of puzzle or game night, or some sort of elements there with quizzicalness and puzzling, or you're solving or playing some sort of game. Others of you will be in nature. It will feel very refreshed and rejuvenating, but some sort of aspect in nature. And for others of you, it will be some sort of celebratory event, or even some place that's quite crowded is the feeling I'm getting, like an amusement park. It's coming through. So I guess things are in that have resumed activities now, so any of those are possible, but those are the different scenarios that are coming through for me. So that's your first meeting and first impression. And a lot of people here are meeting in various different circumstances, but what's the similar energy that is projected is that you'll notice those fine details, and there's some inextricable link of energy of joy, or something on the heart level. It's not necessarily joy when you first see them, it's more so something links you on the heart level that you can't pinpoint, but you are drawn to them in that aspect. It's like some sort of detail in their features will be like pulling you towards them, and vice versa, because we're talking about soulmates connection here. All right, let's look at the next area here. We have your ring or your union with each other, and we have remembrance. Okay, your union is on a karmic level. Okay, let's see what this is about here. Yes, this is not your first time around, not your first rodeo with one another. You two have linked up and connected in lifetimes before in various forms or shapes of relationship. So for example, in this lifetime, we're talking about romantic partnership. In another lifetime, it could have been, it still holds that essence of love, right? But the nature of the relationship might be different. It could be mother and son, owner and donkey or goat. Yes, so owner and pet. But yes, there's been many transpiration, is that a word? There's been many incarnations of you two having connections with karmic ties with one another. Yes, is what we're getting. And yes, especially with 1111 here, it reiterates for us that the connection is pervasive in consciousness, and not limited in its form, in its physical form. Okay, cool. I'm getting a lot of more like this earthly realm. So you two been on this earth for many incarnations, over and over again as well. Okay, so next we have the clarification for it, which is the 5 of Cups. So we're still talking about your union here in this lifetime. This is the energy behind it. So the union here with the 5 of Cups. Okay. It will be during a time that is kind of desolate or challenging, where it will be, yeah, the energy here is a little bit less than neutral, more on the challenging aspect. Is at a time when you two could really use it. Yes, is what your union will be like. You two will be in challenging phases of your life, and in that in that state or phase, meeting each other will be quite beneficial. And that's when the union here is, because, and this card wanted to jump out so much that we just had to take it. Like, it tried to come out in so many different shape, ways, or form. It would not allow me to put it back in the deck. So we have the Spirit of Pentacles here, which is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so it's a magical weaving of a beginning of a relationship. What I hear here is like a wee bunny here. It allows you to be tender with each other. This union, it has its essence of magic in there, but it allows some sort of reprieve, some sort of a relief, some sort of looking to a new potential. It's like, it's almost like a revitalization or rejuvenation of your sense of hope, of your sense of vitality in terms of the union that you have. Ooh, I almost forgot. Okay, let's draw timing here real quick. So Spirit's been wanting to do timing for section 2 and 4. So let's do that right now. And yes, they're reminding me of that right now. Okay. So for your union here, can we get a time for Pile4 and their Soulmates union, please, Spirit? And timing here, just a quick reminder, is timeline changes and is variable according to conditions. And also in this deck, spades will be days, diamonds will be weeks, hearts will be months, and clubs will be years. But there will be also, it's usually an additional message with the timing or relation. Okay, there we go. So yes, this will be for this area. And let's get timing for your memory book portion too, of the nature of the relationship, how long and enduring it is. Okay, so this one, thank you. Okay. So leave this one here when we get there. Let's look at the timing of your union here. Okay, so we have a matter of 10 months. Also 10 could be either within 10 months, of course, but also could be 10 plus months, so more than 10 months. Let's see, 10 months. Yeah, with many different timelines and many people tuning in here. Yeah, for some of you, it could be within under 10 months, or the span of 10 months is your union. I hear you meeting in 4 months. And over the course of that time, you solidify this union within 10 months. Do we have any later? I keep on hearing within 10 months rather than later than 10 months. So yeah, within a matter of 10 months-ish or so, like I said, timeline can change. So whenever you pick up this reading, it's within that matter of time, or from the matter of time when you meet your soulmate. Yes. Okay. So if you met them already, like this sounds, if you met them already and it's been, I don't know, like 6 months, so there's like 4 months left. So yes, that will be left for you to gauge, but I keep on hearing within 10 months is the union of this relationship. Okay. All right, let's look at the next area here. We have the sweetness or the chocolates part of your ride here, of your carriage ride, the sweetness of the quintessential essence of this relationship. So we have let go. Okay. Cutting ties and binds to provide comfort. What does that mean? Okay. It's potential for soul growth is what it is. I see. Okay. Yes, it is the potential for soul growth. Okay. Let's look at our clarifiers here. We have 9 of Swords. And this can be quite a frightening 9 of Swords. And we have the Magician. And then we have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, interesting energy to come through for the sweetness of this relationship. Like I said, a lot of you, when this union comes into shape or form, it'll be in a period or state where you are moving and transitioning and shifting away, or in the midst of the process of being in challenging situation, especially karmic ties involved here. Very strong karmic ties, and so we talked about already. That's the first energy we got hit right away with the union itself. And the sweetness, so to speak, or more so the essence or the importance of this relationship allows you to transform and perhaps cut karmic ties as well. Karmic ties that have been quite heavy or burdensome in the past, but allowing you in this union and this transformation and this form somehow to carve a new path for yourself, to shift away from the old karmas into new lineage, into new incarnations, into new, So there's 2 aspects here. For some of those that are really, this union is very karmic related, very karmic ties and bonds. It carries with it those challenges of the karmas of the past, right? And it's coming out in this lifetime. It's formed to in a period of challenging phase, whether it's emotional, whether it's financial. There's a multitude of scenarios. But whatever the challenging nature is of the relationship itself and of the karmic ties, the essence of this relationship allows you to grow and transform those karmic ties and to cut it off as well. Really, the power of transformation here comes through with the Magician. Literally being in between here with the old karmic ties that plagues your mind and your being, having the power to transform that and shift away into newer horizons. and newer incarnations, a newer energetic vibration, and into newer energetic growth. Yes. Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's look at the last area in here, last portion of your life in this carriage ride, which is your photo album. So moments that you capture, have captured, are going to capture, and in the future, the potential and growth of this what relationship can become. Okay, so we have manifestation. Okay, what this relationship can become for pile 4 here, Spirit? I'm getting a bit of transcendence, but this is a very specific transcendence. Not in the typical way we think of it. Okay, the energy is a bit confusing for me. It's transcendence, but how? It's a very distinct transcendence. Let's look at our clarification. Manifestation here. Transcendence and manifestation. It feels on a very individual basis. There's something confusing about this energy. Okay, help me out here, Spirit. Okay, they tell me to look at the clarifiers, okay. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, lineage. Strong karma lineage coming through here. And then we have the 6 of Wands. Transcending generations. Overcoming generations. Okay, let's see here. For pile 4s, the potential of what this relationship can do. Yeah, it's just an expansion of the energy where we started here, where we go to here, and the energy of what it can become. But it still speaks of that lineage, of that karma. You can be successful in terms of resolving generational karmas, is what we're getting. Yes. Generational karma. That's what it is. Yes, part of the potential and the evolution and growth of this relationship, yes, is transcending personal generational karma. More so generational. Okay. Yeah, becoming successful at being able to do that. That's why this transcendence is very specific. It's not transcendence in connection to a greater consciousness. It's transcendence with a specific lineage in relation to you and your partner, with your soulmate. Yes, that's what it is. Okay, any more info or detail on that, Spirit? Nope, lineage strongly coming through. That's what they're telling me. Lineage, just okay. No, we don't need any more clarifiers for that. Okay, let's look into our timing then. So we have the Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Cups, or emotions, or water. Mother. Perhaps on the matrilineal side, or of your family, is for a good amount you what's coming through here. Yes, I'm getting very matriarchy, matrilineal line. So yes, for a good portion of you, it will be from the mother's side somehow. Some sort of, matrilineal lineage that's coming through in regards to our timing here. Of course, this timing spans across the lineage, right? So how far do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to like when your first lineage was created. We don't know how long a span of time that was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't know how long or span of time that was, but it was challenging and painful when I first started, is also what I'm getting. Okay. Great, bodily feelings. Yes, those are always fun in a reading. Yes, so starting some sort of matrilineal lineage here, some sort of karma carrying through. Oh, I'm getting another message here. So not only is it clearing up that karma, that ability kind of passed down through the lineage too. And it could be a beneficial ability, of course, depending how you look at it. Say, for example, somebody who gets their psychic visions from their mother and from their grandmother, and or on their mother's side from an uncle who's still on the mother's side, but it's the matriarchy lineage, right? It doesn't matter gender. It could still be in male or female, but it's in the maternal lineage versus the paternal lineage. But yeah, it could be painful. It's like every time you get psychic visions, you get also a slight headache, and over time you might learn how to deal with it. But I'm also getting some abilities that is passing down through the lineage here. Yeah, and whether you want to continue with that ability, or whether you just have a headache and you don't even know you have psychic abilities, but you're always having these random headaches, and it's like, why? Well, maybe there's some sort of ability to look into, or some way to kind of help ease that headache. That's a very specific example coming through, but that is the examples we have for the moment being. All right, but yes. So pile number 4, yeah, your soulmate connection comes in for so many people, very many shape, way, or form, but the details is what you will notice at first. It will help you out in challenging times or need. And some of you might have met your soulmate already, and this is parts, you might be on different parts of this journey. Some of you might be here, some of you might be here, some of you might be already here, clearing karmic ties and recognizing abilities and learning to develop them and things like that. But some of you might be in a challenging situation right now, and then that's when your soulmate connection union happens. Okay, I think that's all the messages. Anything else we want to note or clear up on, Spirit? Let's see here. I think we're good. I feel some of you have questions about some of these areas, especially this area here is what I'm getting to for some of you. Let's see, do we have time to clear up another? I mean, this seems pretty straightforward, right? It's cutting karmic ties and bonds. Okay, all right, we'll do one thing. Okay, I feel like this area has the strong indication here, because you are curious about how this is the sweetness of your relationship, where the sweetness allows you to grow with each other. In that process itself, it provides tenderness as a relief and a growth from the personal karma or the personal lineage that you have. But can we get one last clarifier for Pile 4 here, Spirit, in case there's still some lingering questions? And they might answer this, or they might do a general response to. Okay, can we get for Pile 4 a last clarification message, please? For them and their soulmate, union, growth, evolution. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think we parsed out enough of the meaning that not a lot of questions on that. What's this here? This is it. No, yes. This one. Okay. We want to take one more, is what they're telling me. Okay, let's get one more card here. Wait. No. This one, okay. Okay, let's see here, Pile 4. Let's get your last final message here. We have Crossroads. Another Queen here. Okay, we have Birds. And we have Person. Okay. So yes, some of you are at a crossroads or a challenging situation, as we've talked about already. Right here. In regards to this energy, that's sweetness. The sweetness, and just in general here with the final message, we're gonna get you out of your head. There's all these thoughts that ruminate back and forth, and that's why it's making you indecisive, or it's making you stressed, or it's making you... It's just excessive ruminating that keeps on circling round and round. But yes, so this person, this soulmate coming in, this counterpart, will be a relief from that. It will... Yes, they bring their own challenges, also, is what I'm hearing. But at the same time, you two together can work and help each other with those challenges. Especially you have a busy mind that tends to ruminate and takes you in 10,000 directions, and you're just running around in circles. Having this partnership, part of this sweetness, will allow you to kind of share your thought, talk about them. And in that process, in and of itself, gives you the tenderness that we see here. That clarity, that sword to cut through all the nuance and all the thoughts. Yeah. So that is the sweetness of this relationship here, for those of you really questioning about this section or area. Alright, Pile 4, that was your reading. If you liked it, enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. I'm wishing you a wonderful, magical day. Happy Valentine's Day, wherever and whenever you are, whenever you tune in. Take care of yourself, shine ever so bright, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye, lovely stars.